I made him turn his coffee cup around because it was focused on me, and I wasn't really too happy about that. So I said, please focus it back on yourself. Hello, I'm Archbishop Christopher Coyne, and this is Coffee with the Archbishop. And joining me today is Mr. Frank Johnson, who is the Director of Information Technology for the Archdiocese of Hartford. And how do you take your coffee? Well, right mid-gulp?
Just cream. I'm sweet enough.
But yours, I have iced coffee because it's hot.
Hot coffee.
And you have hot coffee. So Frank, how long have you been working for the Archdiocese?
So I've been associated with the Archdiocese since I was 22.
Okay.
I've been in my current role for about 4 years.
Okay.
I came in at a pretty rough time for us.
I heard that we poached you from a church. We won't say which church, but we did poach you from a church, which parish that you were working for. But that was before me. That was before I came on. And so I've known Frank as the only IT person since I got here. And he's always been good to me. And then whenever I say I need something, he gets it for me and all that. So his staff is great and all that. So
keep the bosses happy.
Yeah. So just for our audience, like just in general, in a great sweeping kind of discussion, what does IT cover in this big building?
The way that I see IT is we're a tool to make sure that everybody can take care of every task that they need to do. We're involved in everything from the phones and voicemail to the clergy that have cell phones to the servers and email. I try to find out like every different way I can help people around the building and just to be successful at their jobs.
Yeah. So most of our building, it's PC, Microsoft, except some of us are Apple. And so I'm a big Apple person, sorry.
When I first started, everything was PC. Then when you started, you were a lot more Apple friendly.
Well, I think our publishing department, our people who put together our pamphlets and stuff like that, and our icons and everything, they tend to use the Apple more than PC, right?
Yeah, Apple for publications has been a staple for probably 40 years, at least for the last 5 years since about 2020. Like anything running on Apple both uses less battery power and so the batteries last forever.
Okay, well, I don't want to make this sound like an Apple commercial.
Yeah.
So, but you have an Apple there, or is that an Apple?
Yeah.
So just so you know, folks, that the IT department, they have offices, but they're more like caves because they're just filled with stuff. You go in there and I'm just worried sometimes something's going to fall off the shelf and hurt and maim one of your employees or something.
Hopefully not.
So I had a smaller version of that at one point.
So this is a less than useful computer at this point because it's a 2019 Mac Pro. But like, not to make this an Apple commercial, but it is almost like art. Like everything has its place and everything is just well built and well put together.
Yeah.
I just brought it out because this is like one of my favorite machines right now. I personally bought this myself for $1,000 back in January. Mm-hmm. But somebody, like the person who originally owned this, spent tens of thousands of dollars on it.
Yeah. When I had the tower, the smaller version of that tower, that you could flip this thing and open up the side, I appreciate the fact that you could add memory to it so easily.
Oh yeah.
And because I didn't buy it that much memory when I first started, but then as time went on, I needed more memory for some of the stuff I was doing in terms of videos and stuff like that. So I was able to put it in there. So you take your guys and gals. No, you're all guys.
Currently all guys.
Yeah, currently all guys. You take care of all of our computer needs and all of our telephone needs and everything. But the other thing that I appreciate is how strong you are about security and trying to avoid our getting virus or something like that.
Yeah, since probably about 2016 when ransomware started to really ramp up. Unfortunately, I've been involved with dozens of rebuilds of networks for people that have gotten ransomware, whether it be parishes or sometimes some other companies. And so security has always been a top focus for me to make sure that We don't go through again what was happening when I started.
Okay. So for our people that are watching us at home and they don't have like an apartment like we have, what would be some of the recommendations that you make in order to keep their computers safe?
Well, number one recommendation would be to have a separate admin account from your normal user. To have a standard user for your day-to-day, but if you need to install software, to have an admin user. Just to keep it separate so that if you got compromised, they wouldn't be able to install software on your machine. It makes it a lot more difficult for somebody to take over your machine and to get full control.
Yeah, so you don't use admin for anything other than hardware maintenance, all this stuff.
Yeah.
When you're doing email and anything else, you use the other username account.
And the second thing that's really important is don't let your emotions take over. So if somebody's trying to talk you into something and you're nervous about it, that's the wrong feeling you want to feel. You want to take some time to calm down and think, is this really what I should be doing right now?
Right. Also, I find it's important to pull down the email address.
Yep.
It might look like it's from Connecticut.gov, but then when you pull the address down, all of a sudden you see it's not at all.
Yeah.
It's from like Timbuktu or something like that. And the other thing is, I just want to say it again, folks. I never ask for money over the internet at all. I never do, because people do, and sadly they do, say they're me. And then they tell people, I'm looking for money for this or for that. And the next thing you know, people are sending money off. Yeah. And it's too bad. I just say, they say, is this you? And I say, no, it's, don't. I just tell folks all the time.
There are a lot of really nice and generous people out there. And unfortunately, they get taken advantage of. And
yeah. The other thing is, what about QR codes?
QR codes are getting really dangerous now.
Yeah.
You can get into a situation where the QR code looks like it works and everything goes through, but they actually slip code into the QR code and they can compromise your phone or your device. So it's getting to the point where they're almost not usable.
Yeah. I got a letter from the IRS and it looked exactly like an IRS letter, and it had the IRS, computer location, and had email, everything perfect. But then there was a QR code. And that's where it was. That's where they were trying to get me. They said you can either go onto these things, so you had to type it in, or you could just, I'll scan the QR code. So that's my accountant looked at it. He goes, no, there's a lot of this right now. That's where they're trying to get you on the QR code.
With phones nowadays, Google or Apple, it takes 3 or 4 different times to be able to compromise a device. So they'll do something simple like a QR code first just to get their foot in the door. And then they'll get ad space on web servers like Amazon, and that'll be used to be the second thing to get their foot in the door, and before you know it, your device is compromised.
Yeah. Just so our people know, though, there are trusted QR codes. Like, for example, if it's in the Catholic transcript or if it's in a publication or something like that, that's legit. You can use those QR codes.
Yes, as long as you're confident that of the organization that you're dealing with and you know that it came from them, then yes, it's not a problem. It's a good idea to just make sure that nothing's been modified on it. Sometimes people put stickers over QR codes.
Like in a public space, but not in a magazine.
Yes.
And also, because especially QR code to the Archbishop's Appeal, if you want to make a donation, always safe. So rule number 1, folks, as we're wrapping up, is if you don't know who sent it to you, or if you don't know who the emailed person is, don't open it up. Don't download anything. Don't QR code. Yeah. It's better just to be safe than sorry.
Never hurts just to reach out to the person in general, and whether calling them or emailing them and saying, did you ask for
Especially
something?
if it's someone who's claiming to be your cousin or something like that.
Even
we could spend a lot more time talking about all this stuff, but I want to thank you for coming on.
Yep. Thank you.
Frank Johnson joining me. I'm Archbishop Coyne. You've been watching Coffee with the Archbishop. God bless.